From Raventail Publishing, Dark Ascent by Marcus Abshire.
Why does it always smell like piss in here? I looked over, seeing a man with a scraggly beard and a belly hanging over his belt, shaking his head in disgust. He stood at the end of the bar, facing the back room in what, at first glance, you might call the kitchen. I wouldn't. Things that come out of a kitchen need to be edible and try not to kill you after it gets past your mouth. There was no doubt that if anyone tried to eat whatever was served from that fountain of death, they would pay for it. Hopefully with just a long trip to the toilet, not their life. Shut the hell up, Dennis. Just get your drink, sit down, and get drunk with me. Another candidate for the most unhealthy-looking lumberjack award said as he sat at an old, crusty table behind him. The mirror in front of me was dirty, and it was hard to make out anything through the decades of dirt, grime, and bad attitudes that had weathered over the years. But I saw Dennis look around, give me a quick once-over before shuffling over to sit with his buddy. You know, Jacobus, I don't know why I put up with them, the bartender huffed while he dutifully wiped a glass with an old washcloth. His weathered skin held a permanent tan that gave him a healthy sheen even in the deep winter months. Eyes of a light blue carried a soft wisdom, a gentle edge, but at the same time a hardness of one that had experienced tough times and lived to tell the tale. There was a darkness there, too, a pain that showed in his deep crow's feet and tense jaw. Behind the kindness I saw a man cursed, either by a past pain that just didn't want to let go, or by something else entirely. He smiled as it looked at me. A short white beard covered his chin. Again, I glanced at the mirror and caught my own reflection. It was just a blurry outline, really. Hard eyes with a scar slicing eyebrow and cheek, given to me by a nightmare with talons as long as my forearm. A dark beard that needed trimming covered my chin, while calloused hands held a glass of expensive whiskey. Because they pay, that's why. It's the same reason you bring out the good stuff for me. Because I pay. I told him, then lifted my glass with a small salute and let the amber fire make its way down my throat. There was a time, when I was a young man like you, that I wouldn't stand for such treatment, he huffed as he wiped down the counter. I know, Seamus. I know. I answered and watched him work. He was a good man, which was a rare thing. In my life, doing the things I've done, you don't come across many good men. Seamus was. He had a sense, a presence about him that I recognized. It was the calm power that came from a person who took life as it was, expected nothing in return but dealt with fairness and kindness. It was the exact opposite of what I was used to. I had to stifle a laugh. It was easy to think I was young, but I wasn't. What my exact age is, I couldn't tell you. I kind of quit counting, especially after my stint in the deep prison for people like me.